Hi students, how are you? How is your parents and relatives? Please don't go outside in this pandemic situations. I request you all. Are you ready to listen today's lesson? Wow, thank you. Okay, ready start. So today heat part is 3. Already 2 parts are over. So heat part is today part is 3. So here one quotation is there from Alfred Nobel. You know Alfred Nobel, the great scientist. The first dynamite was invented by Alfred Nobel. So he gave one statement, one quotation, that is, contentment is the only real wealth. Contentment is nothing but satisfaction. So read once again. Contentment or satisfaction is the only real wealth. Satisfaction is important to our lives. Okay. Today we are going to discuss from heat part 3. First one is specific heat and affected factors, methods of mixtures, and principle of method of mixtures, that is also known as principle of calorimetry. And second one is determination of specific heat of a given solid, and third one is home assignment 3. Let us discuss. Are you ready? Already in the last session we discussed about specific heat. So here one formula is there, that is S is equal to Q by M into delta T, where S is equal to specific heat of a given substance, Q is equal to amount of heat energy, M is equal to mass of the given substance, delta T is equal to temperature difference. That's why our statement or our definition is the specific heat of a given solid or substance is the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass of the substance by 1 degree centigrade. Already it is over. Now, specific heat depends upon 3 factors. Number 1 is change in temperature. Change in temperature is delta T. Delta T means T1 minus T2 or T2 minus T1. Which one is higher minus lower temperature, right? Second one is mass of the substance. Mass of the substance, small m. And third one is nature of the substance. Nature of the substance. Is it kerosene? Is it water? Is it oil? Or is it wood? Or is it ice? Different. Nature of the substance. These are 3 factors mainly affected to the specific heat. Okay, right. Today, activity 7 from your textbook, page number 8. So, method of mixtures. One of the important topic in our heat chapter. So, here consider 3 bakers. So, first and second bakers are same volume of the container. So, let the initial temperatures of the samples of masses M1 and M2 be T1 and T2 be the temperatures. M1 and M2 masses of the 2 beakers and T1, T2 are the temperatures. T1 is the higher temperature is called T1, lower temperature is T2. Now in first beaker water mass is M1 say, and second beaker water mass is M2 say. Different temperatures or same temperatures, whatever it is. Okay, in first beaker, so the temperature is by using thermometer T1, and second beaker when we use thermometer temperature is T2. So temperatures are remaining same or not, whatever it is. So these 2 beakers water pour into the another beaker, then the temperature is capital T, that is final temperature. So this is the method of mixtures we will see. So here the amount of heat lost the hotter sample. So here first beaker heat lost because it is poured in the another beaker. That's why it is lost the water. That's why according to our formula S is equal to Q by M delta T. Okay, so according that Q is equal to ms delta T. Q is equal to, according that here heat lost the water sample is Q1 is equal to m1 s delta T. Delta T means T1 minus T. Already I told T1 is higher temperature, T is resultant temperature or effective temperature. Okay, Q1 is equal to m1 s T1 minus T. That is the equation number 1. Right, next one. Now the amount of heat gained, here heat lost and heat gained. Here lost, which one is lost, which one is gained? One beaker is lost, is its heat, amount of heat, and another one is gained. That's why heat gained by the Kohler sample is equal to Q2 is equal to m2s into T minus T2. So this is the equation number 2. So according to method of mixtures, when two beakers are contact one another, or when two beakers are maintain temperature, different temperatures, here heat lost is equal to heat gained. Heat lost is equal to heat gained. When the two beakers are contact one another, then the heat transfer from one body to another body automatically, or after some time, they are comes into the equilibrium. Then only heat lost is equal to heat gain, so that the amount of heat energies are in the beakers both are equal. That's why Q1 is equal to Q2. Therefore, from equations 1 and 2, m1s into T1 minus T is equal to m2s into T minus T2. So now come to the point where T is equal to, final equation, m1 T1 plus m2 T2 by m1 plus m2. From the above equation, final temperature or resultant temperature or effective temperature T is equal to m1 T1 plus m2 T2 by m1 plus m2. That is the equation number 3. This equation is most important. This is known as final temperature of the given mixture. Next one, see here method of mixtures. There are 3 beakers. So here there are 3 situations we try to understand about method of mixtures. So here situation 1, what is there? Here 2 beakers are there. One beaker is at 60 degrees Celsius and another beaker is also at 60 degrees Celsius. When we pour the water into the 2 beakers, so when the thermometer is put in the 2 beakers, the initial temperature T1 is 60 degrees Celsius and T2 is 60 degrees Celsius. Here equal masses are same. Here 200 ml and 200 ml, another beaker also. Here temperatures also 60. That's why here see m1 is equal to m, m2 is equal to m, T1 is equal to 60 degrees Celsius by using thermometer, T2 is equal to 60 degrees Celsius. Then the final temperature is what? When the final temperature, if they are contact one another, or these 2 beakers water pour into the another beaker is big beaker. So when these 2 beakers water is pour into the this beaker, then the thermometer is put in that, the final temperature is considered as a T. Okay, so here conditions are masses are equal. M1 is equal to M, M2 is equal to M, T1 is equal to 60 degrees Celsius and T2 is equal to 60 degrees Celsius, then T is equal to what? So that is our formula. So final temperature T is equal to M1 T1 plus M2 T2 by M1 plus M2. M1 plus M2. That is the equation number 1. Here M1 is equal to what? M. T1 is equal to what? 60 plus M2 is equal to what? M into T2 is equal to what? 60 by M plus M. So in numerator or denominator, M cancel. 60 plus 60, 120. 120 by 2 what? 60 degrees Celsius. Is there any change in temperature? No. So from equation 1, so here equal masses and equal temperatures, the temperature is same. We also using this formula. T is equal to T1 plus T2 by 2 also we have to use this for this condition. Next condition is situation 2. Same mass and different temperatures. In last sessions, situation 1, equal masses and equal temperatures. In this situation, same mass but the temperatures are different. M1 is equal to M2, that is M. T1 is equal to here what? 90. T2 is equal to what? 60. Then final temperature is what? According to that equation, T is equal to same M into 90 plus 60 by 2M, mm cancel, then 90 plus 60, 150, 150 by 2 is equal to what? 75. Here temperature is change, not equal. Not equal. First beaker temperature is 90. Second beaker temperature is 60. These two beakers water pour into the another beaker, then the final temperature is 75 degrees Celsius. Are you understood? In first case, equal masses and equal temperatures, temperature is same. In second case, same mass but temperatures are different, that's why temperature is also changes. Next one, situation 3, another case 3. Here different masses and different temperatures. Different masses means in first beaker take M1 is equal to 100 ml and M2 is equal to 200 ml. Different masses. M1 is equal to 100, M2 is equal to 200. Now by using thermometer, in first beaker temperature is T1 is equal to 90, T2 is equal to 60. Okay. Then final temperature is what? Final temperature is what? Therefore, according to our equation, T is equal to M1 100 into T1 90 plus M2 200 into T2 60 by M1 plus M2 what? 100 plus 200. So, according to our calculation, the final temperature is 70. Final temperature is 70. In situation 2, 75. In situation 1, 60. Here equal masses and equal temperature is same. Here same mass but temperature is different. Here temperature is also not equal. Here situation 3, temperatures are different. The temperature, final temperature is also different. Okay. So now according to principle of method of mixtures, what is our formula? So according to our idea, so when two or more bodies at different temperatures are brought into thermal contact, then net heat lost by the hot bodies is equal to net heat gained by the cold bodies until they attain thermal equilibrium. That is the principle of method of mixtures. Please try to understand. When two or more bodies at different temperatures are brought into thermal contact, or these two beakers of water pour into the another beaker, then the net heat lost by the hot bodies automatically another one is gained. So final formula, net heat lost is equal to net heat gain, or heat lost is equal to heat gain. Here one condition is there. In this process, Heat is not lost by any other process. Please try to understand. Q1 is equal to Q2 like that. So here this is known as principle of method of mixtures. So the principle of method of mixtures is another known as the law of conservation of energy leads to the principle of calorimetry. Principle of calorimetry. Law of conservation of energy means energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form of the substance to another form of the substance. Okay, right? Next one here, determination of specific heat of a given of a solid. Please try to watch this video. After that we will discuss.
Specific heat capacity of a solid. Specific heat capacity of a substance is defined as the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of a substance through 1 degree centigrade. According to the law of conservation of energy or principle of calorimetry, in a closed system, heat lost by a hot body is equal to the heat gained by a cold body. Determination of specific heat capacity of a solid by the method of mixtures. In this method, a piece of solid is heated to a high temperature and then quickly transferred to a calorimeter containing cold water. The solid loses heat energy, whereas the cold water gains heat energy. After some time, the solid, the water, and the calorimeter attain the same temperature. Let us perform an experiment to observe this. You will need a copper calorimeter, insulation box, a solid whose specific heat capacity is to be determined, a physical balance, a Bunsen burner, a beaker, water, and a thermometer. Take the copper calorimeter with a stirrer. Find the mass of the calorimeter using a physical balance. Fill 3/4 of the calorimeter with water. Weigh the calorimeter with water. Calculate the mass of water. Heat the solid, whose specific heat capacity is to be determined as shown here. Continue heating the solid till the temperature of water becomes constant. Place the calorimeter in the insulating box and note the temperature of the water. Transfer the solid into the water contained in the calorimeter. Stir the contents of the calorimeter and note the final temperature. Click on the link provided to view the recorded observations and calculations. We calculate the specific heat capacity of a solid by using the principle of calorimetry. According to the principle of calorimetry, heat gained by a cold body is equal to heat lost by a hot body. The heat gained or heat lost by a body is calculated using the formula Q is equal to mc delta T. Now substitute the recorded values in the equation and calculate the specific heat capacity, the only unknown quantity.
Okay, I think you observe this video. Very important concept is there. In coming classes, junior intermediate, one practical is also there for 30 marks in junior intermediate. So Determination of specific heat of a given solid. Here from this figure, first beaker is empty beaker, that is mass of the given beaker is m1, and second beaker is with water, that is m2. Sorry, here T2 replaced by T1. T1 is the T1 is the initial temperature. Here T1 is not, here T1 is the first initial temperature of the water with the stirrer. Here stirrer is another device. This is an calorimetry and this is an water. Empty calorimeter mass is m1 and empty calorimeter plus water mass is m2. Initial temperature by T2. Now when it is heated up, then the temperature is, the mass is m3. m1, m2, m3 masses, T1, T2 and T3. T2 is the boiling temperature of the water, that is 100 degrees Celsius. T1 is maybe 25 or 28, whatever it is. Okay. T3 is when the solid is poured into the beaker, T1, T2, T3. So according this, see, m1 is the empty calorimeter plus m1 and plus water m2. Only mass of the water m2 minus m1. Initial temperature is T1. In the steam heater with lead shots, temperature is T2. Mt plus water plus lead is mass m3. Okay, see your textbook from page number 9 and 10. So here m3 minus m2 mass of the lead shots, that is here SW is equal to specific heat of the water, SC specific heat of the calorimeter. According to the principle of method of mixtures, heat lost by the solid is equal to heat gained by the calorimeter plus heat gained by the water. This is the principle. According that principle, m3 minus m2 into SL into T2 minus T3 is equal to m1 SC into T3 minus T1 plus m2 minus m1 into SW into T3 minus T1. So please try to understand. Therefore, total final equation SL means lead specific heat of the given solid, that is lead shots. S lead is equal to m1 SC plus m3 minus m2 into SW into T3 minus T1 by m3 minus m2 into T2 minus T3 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This is the experiment. If you want to understand this, again please watch the last video. So here there are 9 factors: m1, m2, m3, T1, T2, T3, SL, SW, SC. M1 is empty calorimeter mass, M2 is empty calorimeter plus water, M3 is empty calorimeter plus water plus given solid, that is lead shots. T1 is initial temperature in the water, T2 is the final that is the boiling temperature of the water, T3 is when lead shots are poured into the water, then the temperature is measured as T3, and SL is specific heat of the given lead shots, and SW is specific heat of the water, and SC is specific heat of the calorimeter. Already some values are given on that time. So this is the experiment to determine the specific heat of a given solid. Okay. Now I want to close this session with home assignment 3. So there are 3 questions. Please try to read and understand this and write down the answers. We will meet next session by different concepts. Please try to understand, and if you have any doubt, please ask me to my sessions. So okay, any doubts? So again, please watch this again and again. Try to understand very important topics. Okay, bye. Thank you.